Hello, Dr. Brandon Vaughn with you today to begin a brand new series about creating a life plan. Now, we're going to get into this over several episodes. Today, we're going to talk about experiencing drift in your life and how this is an indication of why you need to create a life plan. First of all, I want to give major credibility to Michael Hyatt as the inspiration for a lot of what we're going to be covering. He has a whole book out called Living Forward that I would encourage you to go check out if you enjoy what we're going to be talking about over the next several episodes. Let's talk first about the need to create a life plan. The reason why you want to consider creating a plan for your life is because you drift in life. I drift in life. It's part of being human, it seems. I once took a trip where I took my daughter to Hawaii, and the two of us were out swimming in the ocean, doing some paddle boarding, and she started having some troubles with that. So I went out to catch her, and I caught her, and we were sitting there talking. All that time, we were drifting more and more out into the sea. So by the time I look at where the shore was, I felt like I was 2 miles away from the shore because we had drifted with the current in the ocean. And I find this is true in my life, and you might find it's true in yours. Without intention and purpose in our life, we wake up years, decades later and say, what has my life been about? What have I been doing? What are the big things I wanted to do in this life? And I'm nowhere close to having even accomplished those. This is what we call drift in our lives. And you can see drift in a variety of ways. I mean, you can feel confused. What's the purpose and meaning of my life? It might come at great expense because you find that a marriage or relationship is broken. You may find that you're not very close to your children because you've drifted and you've spent a lot of time on things that weren't really important and really didn't matter at all. You might have lost opportunities. There may be things that come along and you say, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I didn't pursue things when I had the opportunity to pursue them. You might feel pain. Could be physical pain because you've let yourself go and you haven't eaten very well, you haven't exercised, you've drifted away from your health. The worst of all is you end up living with regrets. You look back when your children were young and you say, wow, I wish I hadn't spent more time in the office when my children were being raised up and I missed all those opportunities and now I feel sad, I feel regretful. That's something that should make us pause and think through. No one on their deathbed, Stephen Covey used to tell us this, no one on their deathbed wished that they had spent more time in the office. So creating a life plan is the exact opposite of drifting. Drifting is all about passivity. It's all about just letting life happen. And it's amazing how if you just let life happen, you typically drift into the areas that don't mean anything to you. You drift into the areas that you don't want to be representative of your life. Creating a plan for your life is the exact opposite. It is about proactivity. It is about being intentional with what you want your life to be about. The exact opposite. It's about taking responsibility for your life, living your life, as I've always said, with intention, passion, and purpose. Exact opposite of drift. This is why we want to do this. If you have drifted, it can happen for a variety of reasons. It can just be because you're not aware of it. You just don't think about it. That's a big problem. I find I've always thought this, and I've had to get over this in my own life. I always thought life was about spontaneity. Be spontaneous. Now, there's truth to that to some extent. You have a little child and they come and give you a hug without warning. That's spontaneous. That's magic. But the really important things in our life will typically get drowned out by the noise in this world. The world is going to push on you the things that are not important and are urgent, not important to you, and they're always coming across as urgent, It will drown out the things that are truly important to you. So being unaware is one of the biggest reasons why we drift. Not having a purpose or a plan, like a life plan, will make you drift as well. Being distracted by the unimportant things. Urgent, unimportant things tend to distract us. They sound so urgent that we must do them, and it's only later that we realize they didn't matter at all. It can also happen when we're feeling overwhelmed. If you get stressed and you're not taking time for yourself, you're never taking time off of work and relaxing, you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to drift. You're going to be overwhelmed by life. And the fact is, we can also have some stinking thinking that will move us in these areas of focusing on things that don't really matter to us. This is going to be an important thing we're going to cover in this series. You need to know what's important to you and what matters. What's important to you might be different than what's important to me. That's certainly okay, but you need to figure out what that is so that you can make sure that life doesn't drown that out. If you like what you're hearing, click on the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments. If you subscribe, you'll know when I post some of these future videos that we're going to be talking about this. I think you'll find great value out of that. As I said earlier, go out today and live your life with intention, passion, and purpose. Your life is an occasion. Rise to it.